second part of the afternoon, so we are heading toward the end of the day. We spoke a lot about infrastructure, material investment, and I think it is crucial, but I also believe that it belongs to the past or to the present. The future, of course, is what we are going to talk in the next hour. Is going to be technology, efficiency, virtual investment that are much more important in order to compete worldwide. So capital expenditures are important, but they belong to the present. For the future, we need to be much smarter than we are. In a port, in a European port, I believe that this topic has some priorities and some challenges. I will talk about a couple of them. First of all, we in our port, the Port of Genoa is one of the biggest ports in Europe, and every day we have thousands, hundreds of thousands of transactions. We have trucks, we have rail, we have ships, we have freight forwarders, we have any sorts of physical interference with the port and a huge amount of transactions. Per se, this evidence is important to understand how it is crucial to guarantee, to operate all these transactions in a quick, fast, efficient, and secure way. That's one challenge, one priority for all the port. We are a web of transaction, and we need to be able to operate all these transactions, like I said. Technology also has also plays a crucial role in order to have more efficient procedures, for example, in our terminal. Automation, digitalization are all new ways to operate in a quicker, faster, safer way in our port. So it's another element of competition that we have to take care and try to achieve the best standard in this area. The biggest challenge for the European port is that this kind of progress also involves some critical issues, for example, for employment. If you go to a big port in Asia, you see hundreds of cranes, 10 ships at a time, hundreds of thousands of containers, and some people in the area. In a European port, of course, this situation today is not what you expect to see. We are, in a way, approaching automation and digitalization. We will have, of course, much faster procedure. We will have a greater use of technology, but we still have to cope with the need to guarantee a level of employment in our port for stevedores, for people that drive trucks, and so on. That's a challenge, and it is like the energy transition. We all know that we need to give up with fossil fuel. We all would like to have hydrogen, ammonia, and LNG tomorrow morning, but we know that if we do that in a week, half of the people are going to lose the job. So we need to find the right speed and to combine right procedure, technology, innovation with social sustainability. I wish you a very fruitful seminar and all the best for the day. Thank you.
Thank you to the Mr. President Paolo Emilio Signorini, President of the Western Ligurian Seaport Authority. Before starting with the works, we have a brief video that will introduce the panel. Well, there was a technical problem with the audio, of course, but it was clear the description of the service, and I asked to Laura Ghio, Director of Port Planning and Innovation of the Ports of Genoa, to take the floor, and she will be the moderator of this panel. Thank you, Laura.
Okay, thank you very much to be here. And I'm going to introduce this session about port innovation. Together with us for the, let's say, for the panel discussion, we have Professor Davide Giglio, Luca Batello from Circle Group, and Veronica Astan, Marco Bui from ITEC, and Daniele Guarnaccia from Cetena. So before starting the panel discussion, I just want to deliver a very short presentation of about how the ports of Genoa are dealing with the port innovation. This short video that you have seen is just the last step that we offer to our user, to our market, and for us, it was very important because we have involved also the truck system, so the haulage companies within the port community system. As Mr. Signorini was saying before, for us, managing the flow of documents and all the digital procedure behind the physical transportation and the physical handling of goods is very important, and we really believe that this is something which our port need to strengthen. Our port community system, we have developed a wide range of services, thanks also to the collaboration of the all clusters of companies working to and for the ports. So we're talking about transportation companies, stevedoring, shipping agency, terminal operators, So all the main partners which are working with us. Here you can just, we just want to point some very short figures about our port community system. Our port community system is handling 2 billion messages exchanged per year. We have over 6,000 registered users, 9 terminal operators already connected, and over 5 million digital processes managed per year. This was a strong effort, a needed one, because of the motivation we have already said. So this is our reality. Sorry, and we, with the port community system and with the, we are facing basically these challenges. So, I don't know. Okay, we are talking about process automation and digitalization. So that means probably this presentation means that probably we can go on. No. So let's talk on this chart, which is much better, which is going to help us talking about the future, because this is the issue of today. So mainly, as the Ports of Genoa, we are working on 3 different topics. So supply chain, process, and partnership. If we look at the supply chain, for us, working on that issue means now for the future, working more on track and tracing. So we need to integrate more and more the transportation flows, so both road and rail. As you can see in the up of this chart, so we are working very hard on this integration, because for us, rail means the future in terms also of sustainable development of our port traffic. And then we are working also on start working on a module, which is very important for us, and is going to help us in managing people and passengers. As we have told in the past presentation, we are managing more than 4 million passengers per year. So that means that in some way we have started, we need to also to manage and to control these flows, because that means giving to passengers and to people good services when they are accessing the port, leaving and reaching the port. Then port process, our president told us that what is going on terminal. So automation and efficiency on one side, and on the other side, that means a big change in the working process. So in the management of labor. So we are changing, we are foreseeing a change in the type of labor forces working in a port. Then, of course, for us, the port process means using simulation and optimization, because if we want to face and to reach an objective of optimization and efficiency, we need to control and to manage all the process. And then, of course, last but not least, safety and monitoring, because we as I was telling before, we have people working inside the port, and so we need to concentrate our attention on port workers and on the interaction between workers and cargo. On the other side, if we want to have a look at the future, we need partnership. So I'm not talking about our partner, so with our clusters, but also with let's say synergy with the excellence that are inside our territory. And we will deliver a very, let's say, important, some experiences in the next panel discussions. So we strongly believe that if we want to look at the future, we need to strengthen this kind of synergy. Of course, for us, the objective of these partnerships goes through an objective of sustainability, of monitoring infrastructure, for example, because we are carrying on lots of port works inside the ports, road, rail, on the water side. And so that means that the technology can help us in monitoring this kind of intervention. So we believe that it's quite enough. I mean, it's a huge, it's a huge challenge for the future. I just want to finish this very short presentation. I had this strange idea to asking ChatGPT 3 questions. Too easy, one, the last a little bit more tricky. So I asked ChatGPT, and this is the answer. So the first one was, no, please, what's going on? The next, okay. Let's hope. What is the technology that impacts transport? That impacts transportation and logistics the most? And so the ChatGPT answered that currently the technology that has the most important is the IoT. So, and this ability to create a network connected. In this case, we are fine. We said, okay, that's what we are doing already. What is the level of automation in port process? And so in this case, as my president was saying, the answer was that the level of automation was varies greatly. So we have some terminals which are very strongly automated, and other terminals which are not, and probably they won't be in the future. And so again, we are facing this challenge. And then I excuse everybody for the third question, which was a little bit, you know, if you go on. So can AI govern logistic process? This is a big question. And so I don't know if the answer was because of it was asked to an AI ChatGPT, but he said artificial intelligence is already used in various logistics sectors, such as route planning, supply chain optimization, stock management, and fraud prevention. However, at present, AI cannot completely replace the role of logistic professional, and we agree. But it can support the decision-making and improve the efficiency of logistic process. And then probably the tricky answer is the last sentence. In the future, it may be possible for AI to fully manage logistic process, but it will take many years of development and technological integration before this becomes a reality. So I just want to finish my presentation with this answer. We will talk with our discussant about the future. So it's a future which in some cases is here, it's just now, and since some of your presentation will describe something which is really a foreseen future. So thank you. And I will ask Davide Giglio, Professor Davide Giglio. He's here as the delegate of the rector for Race Innovation Ecosystem. So I give you the floor and ask you to introduce one of our partnerships, so together with you, the IIT and CNN.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much for having invited me here in Munich to participate in this very big event. And today I'm here to illustrate, to present to you the RAISE innovation ecosystem. This is not a project. This is an innovation ecosystem, which is has been proposed almost 1 year ago, together by University of Genoa, Italian Institute of Technology, and the National Research Council. All the partners, all the scientific partners that are in the Liguria region. I mention the Liguria region because the innovation ecosystem is a territorial ecosystem. This is an innovation ecosystem funded by the European Union within the National Recovery and Resilience Plan. We are talking about the fourth mission, which is education and research, and in particular the second component from research to business. I mentioned at the beginning that this is not a research project. This is something more, and in particular, I took from the call which are the objective of this initiative. So the innovation ecosystem has to put into action some innovative training activities to fill the gap between university studies and business. There is the need of supporting startup, the involvement of local communities. So, of course, carrying out research activities in collaboration with university and local enterprises. I also put a chart in the right part of this slide to show that one of the targets of RISE ecosystem is to increase the level of readiness of some products, technologies that are provided by the partners of the projects. RAISE is the acronym of robotics and AI for socioeconomic empowerment. Robotics and artificial intelligence have been chosen due to the excellence that are given by the three founders of this initiative, but also due to the industrial vocation of the Ligurian territory. And as I'm going to show in a few moments, the verticalization, so the specific topics that are considered into this ecosystem are consistent with the smart specialization strategy of the Liguria region. Okay? RISE is not only port. Today, I'm going to introduce in detail what is about ports, but it is not only port. There are 4 verticalizations which are related. The first, it is about, let me say, smart cities, in particular, the development and application of technologies for the inclusive engagement. So to support persons with disabilities or weak persons and so on. The second is about healthcare. The third is about environment, so technologies to protect the environment. The fourth is my spoke, so the ports, smart and sustainable ports. And then there is also an horizontal, let me say an horizontal layer, an horizontal spoke, which has the target of transfer the technologies, of implementing the educational programs, the acceleration programs to support the creation of startups and so on. I didn't mention already RISE. RISE is now an enterprise, which has the role of managing the project, RAISE is the only interface with the Ministry of University and Research. RAISE is a new enterprise, but it is funded and participated by University, CNR, Italian Institute of Technology, but also by Regione Liguria with PIS and Liguria Digitale, Comune di Genova with Job Center, and also Fondazione Cima. In the right part, you have the 22 participants, the 22 partners of the RAISE project. Some of them are involved in the activities about ports that I'm going to show in a few moments. Okay, this is a picture just to show which are the 4 verticalization and which is the role of the spoke number 5. So spoke number 5, it's about technology and transfer and development, and their single specific activities is to set up an incubation system, an accelerator system, is to provide and to implement an education and training program, and then also some activities about communication, public engagement, all about ethical AI and robotics, and so on. But let me now go into details about ports. So this is the spoke number 4, the spoke number 4 about ports. These are the four strategic lines of these spokes. The first is about, let me say, robotics and automation. So uncrewed and automated systems for port automation. The second one is about data. It's about the huge amount of data that are collected within ports. And the name is machine learning and real-time data for port safety, security, and sustainability. So we have data. We have the application of artificial intelligence, in particular machine learning algorithms and procedures. But all of this as the target for some specific. We have some specific targets that are the safety, security, sustainability, and maintenance, and so on. The third line is about the network of which the port is a node. So in Liguria, we have 3 ports, Genova, Savona, and also La Spezia. We have some smaller ports, and we have a quite complex network of infrastructures, road infrastructure, rail infrastructure, that must be taken into consideration together the ports. And so the third line is about the work management, the work optimization of the network of transport infrastructures. The last one, the fourth, is about small and medium ports. So it's about tourism. It's about tourism and smaller ports. These are the partners. So in the spoke number 4, we have 8. Apart the 3 founders, we have 8 partners participating in the projects of the spoke number 4. And I'm mentioning the projects because the lines are the, let me say, the we have defined on the 4th strategic lines 12 projects. So now there is an executive plan of research and innovation activities that are carried out by the partners, and the executive plan is organized in 12 projects. So these are the projects. I don't have time to go into details, but in the next slide you can read some of some of the innovation activities, some of the tasks that are executed inside the projects. So the first is about the robotics, so autonomous system, terrestrial, marine, aerial systems. The second is about social robots, so something more related to passengers, to small ports, to tourists, to interact with tourists and so on. The third one is in the information technology layer. So it is the platform to collect data, to manage data, to deliver data to all the parties that need data about ports. Then we start with some projects that has a specific target. So, for example, the fourth is about maintenance, is about predictive maintenance of both resources and infrastructures. The fifth one is about safety and risk assessment and management. So all the projects you can see that is about the application of robotics and artificial intelligence technologies to some specific targets. The sixth is about, again, the application of this kind of technology for the nowcast and forecast of meteorological conditions. So we are talking about the sea and the impact of some adverse event to the coast and to the ports. Let me go on with this quick list of projects. So we have the seventh one is about the cyber and physical security of the port areas. The eighth one is about technologies for greening ports. The nine is about the energy systems for port environments. And here we have the last three projects. Sorry, I have to go quick because the time is very limited, but you can have some specific detail in these slides. Let me say the 10th is about the systems to optimally manage the flows. So here we have the flows of containers and other freights. The 11th project is about simulation. So in this project, it is collected several simulators that are developed within the project. And finally, the last one is about the automation for seamless operation for in ship and port shared environment. So I apologize for the speed of this presentation. There is I can talk for hours about this project, but there is no time today, and this is not possible. But so let me conclude with the final slide, which is very important. Which is very important because this slide show which is the final target of this kind of project. So we need to create in the period of the project. So the project started in the October 22 and will end in 3 years. So in the fall of 25, and we need to create some demonstration sites in Liguria, first of all, because this is a territorial project. And we plan to create 3 or 4 test and demonstration sites in the 3 main ports of the Liguria region, but also in 1 medium and small ports. But we need also to create some demonstration sites in the south of Italy, because even if the innovation ecosystem RAISE is a regional ecosystem, we need to do some activities in the south of Italy. This is due to the rules of the PNRR, the PNRR that must devote 40% of resources to the south of Italy. And then we will try to create two test and demonstration sites also in south of Italy, starting from April 24. Yes, the spring of 24. So this is a very short, very quick introduction of the RAISE project. In this year, there will be an open call delivered by the Italian Institute of Technology to have new partners into RAISE. So an open call for grants for enterprises. Whereas in the 2004, the spring of 2004, there will be an open call delivered by University of Genoa to set and start these demonstration sites. Okay, so thank you very much thank you, Laura, again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Davide. So I would like to thank you for your intervention, and for the Ports of Genoa, it's the cooperation with the university within the RAISE project. It's very important. So yes. To be more precise, we are the Ports of Genoa. We are inside the advisory board, so of the RAISE ecosystem. So we are aiming at acting directly and as a facilitator for let's say reaching the goals of RAISE. So I will leave the floor to our partner also. So they're not only a company inside the RAISE project, but they also collaborate with us in several activities. So I will leave the floor to Luca Batello, the president of Circle, and to Veronica Asta, the responsible for optimization for Circle. So I let you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Laura. We joined with big pleasure the RAISE strategy and RAISE roadmap. What we started 4 years ago after some other topics related to problematic related to Port of Genoa. It was a bridge project. Inside the bridge project, we implemented until now, that is the starting point of the RAISE project, was first of all to integrate in real time all the information that the rail infrastructure manager, so RFI in Italy, give us. So there is this peak connector and peak dashboard that give the real-time information about the train in real time. That is one pillar. The second pillar is a cooperative activity that we started and now implemented, and very soon will complete with all the rail ecosystem. So all multimodal transport operator, all railway undertaking company, and all the terminal, obviously, and all the actors that use train. So freight forwarder, obviously, and shipping line, and multimodal transport operator, and big shippers. Starting from these two pillars, so real-time information about trains and changement related to problematic on the infrastructure or need or replanning from one side. From the other side, what is forecasted and managed on the train. From these two pictures, we inserted 3 pillars that I let to Veronica illustrate. One is planning and replanning using optimization related to the last mile. The opportunity to digitalize all the activities related to the shunting, and the opportunity to have a real-time digital twin that give in a graphical way information about all is happening in the complete Ports of Genoa ecosystem, with a big ambition that I had after Veronica will let you touch. So what implemented until now, what is reality today, because Laura know very well that we like and want to have something concrete that thanks to the capacity to propose concrete tasks that all the port community and Spediport that is always present in this kind of activity. I thanks them because I have an incredible capacity to give us the opportunity to become concrete in this kind of activity. So Veronica, let them touch what is now a situation. So was a dream 4 years ago. Now it's a reality. And I add 1 minute, the next step in the future.
Thank you, Luca, for the introduction. Okay. So I'm going a little in detail. What is the process is very specific, rail shunting process inside the port area. The optimization consists in the scheduling and rescheduling of the activities when we have, of course, real-time operations. We consider a lot of items because this process is very specific and very complex. So we know we have the resources that we have to respect. We have limits on that. We have the train path and we have the terminal, the maritime terminal. So this is a rail process, but not only a rail process. It is inside the port system that is very complex to manage. Here you can see the our dashboard that has been developed in order to use this optimization system on the back end. So in order to run the optimization and to plan the activities. The plan of the activities is a support for the operator that in their activities can have a support to decide which is the best solution to operate. Here you can see the planning horizon that they can manage the resources. Here you have, for example, the resources that are needed for operate the trains inside the port area, and we can manage the shift. The input train, here we can import all the data. We have the number of the train, the export of the imports direction, the maritime terminal of the origin or destination. We have the time windows of availability of the maritime terminal, which is again very important because it's inside the process, even if it is a rail process. And then we can also, of course, take the input the data by files, but and then I will show you. We also integrate the solution with the management system of the shunting operator. Here I can show you the rescheduling. So in this concept, we have already a plan, and we reschedule the activities when some extra new fact happens. What we have as output is a suggestion of plan. Here you can see the Excel extraction. This is very useful because in this process, yes, we are digitalizing, but not everything. And so for an extraction in Excel is very easy for the operators. This is, I don't know why it is not centered, but we have the integration with the train shunt, which is the operating system of the shunting operator in this moment in the Santa Magdalena Basin. Here you can, I don't know why it is not centered, but you can see this is the plan of the trains arriving and departing, and then we can choose which train we wanted to operate, we wanted to schedule. Then we can send to the optimization, so we are connecting to the same black box, so the optimization model in the backend. And then here you can see the short-term plan, because we can schedule on long-term plan for 1 week, but we can schedule also real-time, so 1 day. And then we are, or also 1 shift, and then we are continuing rescheduling because trains are delaying, are canceled, and so on. Here you have the graphical representation of the table that I showed before. So you can also see the not only the position, but the planned occupation of the tracks inside the system. This is very useful for the operator, not to use to avoid the paper and planning on paper. This is the parallel project that we did for the simulation of the same process. So this is the rail infrastructure inside the port of Genoa. This is the San Pietro Basin. And this is, of course, a video, and sometimes we accelerate the timing. But as you can see, we can represent the trains inside the port area. This is the park of the Shantin Park. And then this is the one camera, but we have also other cameras for the park, for the trucks inside the maritime terminals. And here you can see that we can, on one side, see and monitor the real-time state of the infrastructure. You can easily understand how it can be useful, both for the operator and for the port authority in order to see the situation of the system, but also the simulation for capacity, for trying to understand what can happen, which is the critical, the bottlenecks, and in order to do some strategic reasoning. And so I hope to give you an idea of what we did until now and what we can do with the other project that we have together.
Just to close our topic, there are two ongoing steps and one next objective. The ongoing step is this is an instrument that Port Authority already is using inside its team, and that we integrated, as Veronica illustrated, with the rail shunting actor. So it's up and running and in use. What we are doing with the team of the Port Authority is the full digital integration in real time with all the actors. So acting with the terminal and all the actors of the port community, that in my dream, before the end of the summer, should be completely integrated. But the next step that is totally inside the RACE project is to complete all the evolution of this system and model with Terzo Valico. So to complete this kind of view, integrating all Terzo Valico enlarged rail system in order to give an incredible exploitation additional boost, talking about this kind of instrument and opportunity, concrete opportunity for freight forwarder, shipper, and actor. That is, I think, the final objective of digitalization. Thank you.
Thank you very much to both of you. It was very interesting, and we know that this kind of project and activity is very important for us, because we think we are able to manage our flows, especially on road side, but rail side is together with road is really strategic for us. So I will leave the floor to Marco Bui from ITEC. ITEC is already a partner, the Port of Genoa, so they carried projects in the Vado and in the Port of Genoa. So I will leave you the floor and
Thanks, Laura. So first of all, few words. First of all, we are happy really to be part of this project. ITEC is a piccola media impresa innovativa, so this means that we are a small company. We bring experience. We have more than 30 years of experience, but we always bring innovation in our activities. And what we have seen before, we are not starting from the scratch. We have seen that there are many projects to bring automation in our ports. What we got as a target for this activity is to bring innovation that it's possible to implement in a short time. So it's something that we should implement not in 10 years, but even before the end of this project. So inside of this, we can see some of the projects that we have identified as targets. What we are doing is to work in the automation and safety and security. using new technology, mainly machine learning, so artificial intelligence applied to image processing. The first step is identification of dangerous goods. The second step is to use video analytics for safety and security. The third one is to implement automatic damage identification for the containers. We can move to the next one. So this one is the first, it's already started. The target is to be able to identify vehicles with dangerous goods in an automatic way. Today, what we are doing is to collect information to know that a vehicle is coming, but then there is a manual process to identify the vehicle and to verify this. The scope of the project is to facilitate, to limit the number of manual activities. And so we want to automate this part, trying first of all to use the systems that are already there. We have gate automation that we can reuse, or maybe we can use video surveillance cameras that are checking the ports to identify this. So please. What we have done so far is to start to train the neural network, the machine learning, to identify the IMO placards in a different condition, because the first step is that it's good to automate, but we have to automate in different type of situations. So it should work with high precision, also when it's dark, also when there are damages on the picture, and so that's the target. So to get high precision. So far we have trained the system, and we have already seen that it's feasible with good results. We are now trying to see which is the best solution, try different cases. The first one is a neural network that in one step is capable to identify that there is a IMO placard, and also immediately to identify which is the type of the placard. And the second solution method is what we try to see is to do in different steps, because we have seen that the first one is faster, but is less precise than the second one that require more resources. So what we try to do is also which type of technology is the best to be applied in field, reducing the resources. Please. And this is a summary of what is done. This is a summary of the processes that it's done every time that we try to train the neural network to recognize special situations. So it's valid for this, but it's also valid for other activities. So at this stage, we have already trained the network. We have already done exercises, but we have to use and train and improve these in field. Okay, so you can, another area that instead we have identified, and practically it's already available, but it's to identify critical situation that can happen in, for example, near the cranes or near the areas. So we identify if there is something that is dangerous. So using the artificial intelligence, we can classify what happens in the image. And so on one side, the operator can have the special attention on that image. On the other side, the algorithm recognizes what happens in the ship. So far, for example, these are areas where it's not expected to have person in the area because it's dangerous. And so the system automatically recognizes this. On the top of this, we can identify what is really critical. And as a message also for the participants to this is to see what is useful for the user to be identified, what is really good to improve the daily activities. So far we know that we can classify, identify critical issues, and this is good for safety and security. Next one. Another area using the same type of technology is to have automatic recognition of container damages. Of course, the scope is not to recognize the one on the left. It's easy to recognize, so we expect that we don't have this on a track. But the second one, it's most critical. This can be on a track, and we know that this is an issue, and it's also an activity that is time-consuming. Today is manually done, and can create also cost with insurance, or also discussion, because if it's not recognized immediately, there are discussion between who created the damage. Today, we can record what happens at the transit, but we are not yet able to automatically detect. Using the same approach that we had for the dangerous goods, we have to train to recognize these cases. For all these projects, what is important is to get a large amount of images that has to be used to train the neural. Without this, we are not able to improve the functionality. So the message is, we are in the beginning, we know that it's feasible, but to improve this, we need the users that can give us images and experience on this. So I think this was we have also another one that we have in the pipeline, for example, is to automatically detect the presence of the seals. We don't want to say that we are able to check if the seal is still good. It's impossible, or even to read the code of the seal if it's on the opposite direction. It's impossible. But at least to see if the seal exists, reduce the need of manual activity. So say that. Thanks. We need your help to see the users. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You show us the importance of dealing with issue like safety or security, which is, of course, for us, together with efficiency, with control, with optimization of process, a big issue, not only now, but for the future. And as a Port Authority, we are we will help you in, of course, in placing inside our territory, our operation, and together with our, of course, with the companies working with us, just to implement your solution. So we are nearly at the end. I just want to introduce our last guests. So together with us, we have Daniele Guarnaccia from Cetena and Irene Zampini. So they will show us a piece of future. Okay, future. It's always, we are always talking about future, but you will show us. So I leave you the floor, and
So first of all, many thanks to the Port Authority for the invitation in this wonderful booth with our simulator. And many thanks for the opportunity to show our personal point of view regarding the application, digital application in the maritime field. So today we would like to talk about two types of application. One is the virtual reality, and the other one is the augmented reality that is with my colleague Irene. So we think that we are ready to apply this kind of technology in two different fields of the maritime. One, in our point of view, is represented by the ship operator. I mean, not only Port Authority, but also captain, tag master, mooring operator, ship owner, to do what we can see in the next slide. Yes, in this case, you can see how we can simulate the real behavior of the ship during the arrival and departure. So we can simulate every kind of object in the real scenario. We can change the environmental condition. And as you can see in the left part, you can see the 3D visualization. In the right part, what's happened in terms of force, in terms of wind speed, wind direction. The scope is evaluate the compatibility between a ship and port and define the limit of operation. The typical application can be the new configuration of harbor, the new configuration of port, or the current situation with the new ship. This is a technology, this kind of technology is ready. And in this case, it is important to understand the difference between the other kind of devices. The person is in one immersive scenario. You can, when you wear this kind of tool, you cannot see nothing all around you because you are inside one digital scenario. It is one focal point to evaluate in the proper way the distance during the maneuvering. The second application is the augmented reality. The main difference is that with augmented reality, this is what we call helmets and this what we call glasses, because you can see through. So for this reason, we think that the application of augmented reality probably is more interesting for logistic operator, because as now we will show you, while you are making any type of procedure, any type of activities, you can add information in the visualization to do, for example, identification, to carry out training activities, or sometimes we can customize according to the customer need for safety application, because you can receive an alarm during the operation. Irene, would like to show, so first of all, I would like to say that we are the people that develop the software application. Tomorrow, probably the dimension and the weight of the glasses will become like our glasses. We know that many companies are working to reduce the weight and to reduce the dimension. Now we are seeing what Irene is seeing in this moment. So Irene now is here with us, but probably tomorrow can be in China and me in Genoa, in my office. Irene can interact. The scope of this tool is interact while you are making another things, while you are driving, while you are dismounting some components. And we can interact in 3 different ways. With the finger, with the gesture. We can click and select from one table. We can interact without hand. In case we are working with our hands, we can interact with the eyes. So in this case, you can see we don't have the finger. Irene is seeing for 3 seconds that is equal to click, the same. Because probably I'm dismounting something. I cannot use the gesture. The third is like Alexa or our smartphone, is a vocal. Another important aspect is that you can create your workspace. This table now is here in the space. Irene, try to move. Okay, she can move the table on the right, on the left, on the top. And you can upload in very simple way, like one USB, no more than this. You can upload any type of document that you want. In this case, it's a PDF, one manual. She open, she move, and she can check. She can stretch. Tomorrow we can upload the movie. We can upload the picture. The last part that we would like to show you is what we call mixed reality. So now we have to imagine that we are in front of one mechanical component, let me say. What do you want? We select one small engine, starter engine, okay? In this case, we will have a 3D model physically in front of us. Because I have to carry out a maintenance operation. Okay. The component is here. You cannot see, but you can go around. You can check if the dimension is the right dimension. You can move. You can maintain open the PDF file, of course. In this moment, we close the window, but we can maintain both. You can dismount it because you have to understand how it is inside. Please, Irene, can explode. You can design any component. And you can take everyone in order to evaluate everything. Of course, in this case, we are showing this kind of a component, but probably the limit is only our imagination. The last thing that I would like to align is that in this moment, we are in one call. We are in a Teams call with Irene. We can see what Irene is moving in another part of the world. We can talk with Irene. We can chat with Irene. We can send a file. Thank you. I don't have any other...
Thank you very much. I can understand that you have no words to add because it's self-explaining the experience that we have all together done here. So I thank you again, all our guests, and I hope that we will work more and more together in the future, and I hope that we'll build a partnership with our operators and our scientific and technological partners who are here today and will collaborate in the future. So thank you very much for your participation, and we will host a cocktail after this presentation. So stay with us, and I think we're gonna leave you with the video that it was without music at the beginning. So we just want to recover, and so enjoy the last afternoon with us, and thank you very much again.
Adesso lo dico.